Hey guys, we're still at the Pyramid Brew House at Chris Perillo's tweet up. Ran into a good friend of mine, Jean-Luc David. He's a guy you will see around, really nice guy. Yeah, he's another social media enthusiast, so to speak, and he's definitely someone you'll see around, so go out and meet him. So without further ado, here he is.
Hi,
Jean-Luc.
Kenji.
How are you, sir?
Thanks for all the kind words, by the way.
Oh, it's all true, Jean-Luc.
Yeah.
So, Jean-Luc, you're a social media enthusiast. Curious as to where that stems from.
I've always been a social person. I've actually, when I started my company, this was about 13 years ago, I realized that a big part of my success in building out my company would be to, basically connect to the communities, understand what developers are out there. From an HR perspective, it's obviously very important to find talent and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So what I started doing was hanging out with different user groups within the area that specialize in development, and then decided to start up my own group. And one of the groups I formed was one called the Toronto Windows Server User Group, and there was definitely a need for a group for people who administer servers and do that kind of stuff. So it ended up that 1,200 people joined my group, and Wow. It was quite large. We were getting about 600, 700 people showing up at the meetings. So like I said, it's in my DNA. I have to hang out and be social, and I love building community and joining communities and interacting with people online and offline.
Absolutely, and you also, I think you have a monthly tweet up that you and Steven Matsumoto are putting together?
Absolutely. So the first one we had was yesterday. It was 40 people, and I paid for the drinks and the appetizers. I'm not guaranteeing that if you attend the future one, I'll do that every time. But it's a really great opportunity for people who lived on the east side of Seattle to get together and not have to travel across the 520 to get downtown.
Right.
And, for people to get together and chat and really get to know each other. So
Right, and so who can attend these events?
Anybody.
Anybody.
You don't even have to be Twittering. If you're curious about Twittering, or you just want to meet new people. In fact, I met somebody on Twitter. Her name's Tiny Thoughts on Twitter, and she just moved back from Berlin. She didn't really know anybody in the area, and this going to tweetups like this, the one I held and the one here, is a way for her to re-socialize in Seattle and get to know people and really create friends and connections everywhere.
Right, absolutely. There's a great group of social media folks out here who are just very welcoming, like you, because I think I met you at a tweet up. Is that correct? I think it was probably
correct.
Chris Perillo's tweet up.
I always go to these Chris Perillo's tweet up, and obviously sometimes work constraints don't allow you to do that kind of thing.
Right.
For the most part.
And for those who don't know, what are you currently doing?
So I'm a technical evangelist role owner, and at Microsoft. And let me explain what that is. So basically around the world, we have about 800 or so technical evangelists. And these are the people, when Microsoft releases a product like Windows 7, these are the people on stage doing the big presentation under hot lights in front of thousands of people. And they're the ones who are blogging, doing podcasts, connecting to the community. And as I explained before, that whole social aspect is really in my DNA. I used to be a technical evangelist for Microsoft, and now I manage these roles within Microsoft.
Wow, that's very, very cool. So, don't want to keep you here too long. So
no, you can keep me.
Well, if people want to find out more information about either the tweet ups or just in general find you, where can they find that information?
So I think the best way to connect to all the stuff that's going on is really on Twitter. So you go to twitter.com/JLDavid. Mm-hmm. I have a blog called Make It So. It's a little bit out of date, so I have to update it. But you can, if you type in Jean-Luc David, Make It So, you'll find my blog.
Is that a reference to Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Make It So, number one. Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All right.
Makes sense, right?
Well, it does. I was going to ask you about that, but didn't want to come across too geeky.
Okay.
But all right. Well, Jean-Luc David, thank you very much for your time. It's a pleasure.
No problem. It's a pleasure. Thank you, Kenji.
Oh, no problem. So everybody, that's Jean-Luc David, a really cool guy. So go out and say hey. Yeah, he's just another one of the great people out in our community. So we'll